7th ICSE biology classes. So children, in our previous session we were discussed about the photosynthesis, right? So what are the raw materials required in the photosynthesis? We also discussed what is the balanced equation and what are the end products of the photosynthesis, right? So what are the end products of the photosynthesis? Glucose and the oxygen, right? And we also studied about the importance of or the significance of the photosynthesis, and we have proven some of the experiments, right? Now in this session we will study the factors which are affecting the photosynthesis. Factors affecting factors which are affecting the photosynthesis. So what are those factors? The first one is the light, then the concentration of carbon dioxide, then temperature, and then the water. These are the four factors which are affecting the rate of photosynthesis. Now come to the first factor, that is light, right? So the rate of photosynthesis depends upon the intensity, the quality and the quantity of a light. The rate of photosynthesis depends upon see quantity and quality of light, right? It means that it increases with the increase in the intensity of light. It means that it increases with increase in the, because the amount of carbon dioxide released during the respiration is equal to the amount of carbon dioxide absorbed by the plants during the photosynthesis, right? So during the morning time or in the evening time, the rate of photosynthesis is very low, the intensity of light is very low, and due to that one, the amount of carbon dioxide released during the respiration and the amount of carbon dioxide absorbed during the photosynthesis remains same, and this point is called as a compensation point, right? So what do you mean by the compensation point? Here, so at this point, the amount of carbon dioxide released equal to the amount of carbon dioxide absorbed. That point is called as a compensation point, right? Now, next we will move to the another factor, that is concentration of carbon dioxide. So now the second factor is concentration of carbon dioxide. So the rate of photosynthesis increases with the increase in the concentration of carbon dioxide. The rate of photosynthesis increases with the increase in the concentration of carbon dioxide. with the increase in the concentration of carbon dioxide, right? Because we know that carbon dioxide is one of the raw material which is needed for the plants, because plants takes the carbon dioxide, right? And with the help of the carbon dioxide, the photosynthesis will occurs. It means that the carbon dioxide is very essential raw material for the plants, right? If more amount of the carbon dioxide will be present, it means that the more photosynthesis will occurs, right? But the condition will be the light, the quality of light is not the limiting factor, right? The quality of light, but quality of a light is not a limiting factor. In this condition only, the rate of photosynthesis will be increases. Here, we know that in the atmosphere, 0.03% of carbon dioxide is present, right? We know that the air is mixture of many gases. 78% of nitrogen is present, 21% of oxygen is present, and 0.03% of carbon dioxide is present in the air. If the amount of carbon dioxide will be exceeds, or if the amount of carbon dioxide will increases then 0.03%, then the carbon dioxide acts as a pollutant. Understand this one? As I told here, the rate of the photosynthesis will increases with the increase in the carbon dioxide, with the increase in the concentration of carbon dioxide, right? But the quality of light is not the limiting factor. It means that if the percentage of the carbon dioxide or the concentration of the carbon dioxide will more than 0.03% in the air, then the carbon dioxide will act as a pollutant. Nowadays, we know that due to the emission of the fossil fuels, due to the maximum air pollution, the concentration or the percentage of the carbon dioxide is increases in the atmosphere. And this increase in the concentration of the carbon dioxide is leading to many global problems, right? Like a global warming, one of the burning problem the world is facing today is a global warming. Why? Because of the concentration or the percentage of the carbon dioxide is increases in the air. Children, when the percentage of the carbon dioxide will be increases, right, at that time the stomata will closes. We know that stomata, this is a stomata, right? So already we studied this one. It is made up of the two guard cells. So these two are the guard cells, right? And these two are the guard cells, and this is called as a stroma, where the exchange of the gases will be takes place. We know that the carbon dioxide will be entered into the stomata, right? And then with the help of the carbon dioxide, the plant is going to prepare the food. It means that the carbon dioxide is entering into the stomata, then only the photosynthesis will occurs. But when the percentage of the carbon dioxide will be increases, then this carbon dioxide acts as a pollutant. Acts as what? Pollutant. At that time, this becomes a dangerous. At that time, the stomata closes, right? If the stomata is closed, then carbon dioxide will not enter into the stomata, will not enter into the stomata. When the carbon dioxide is not entered, it means that there is no photosynthesis, right? So the rate of the photosynthesis is increases with the increase in the concentration of the carbon dioxide. But the condition is that if it exceeds, if high amount of or high concentration of the carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere, then this stomata will closes, right? If the door is closed, see, from the stomata only the carbon dioxide is entering. If the door is closed, then how the carbon dioxide will enter? If the carbon dioxide will not enter, there is no question of the photosynthesis. So the next factor which affects the rate of photosynthesis is the temperature. Right? So here the effect of temperature, it varies with the habitat of the plant. Right? Here the rate of photosynthesis will changes. The rate of photosynthesis varies or it changes, right? Photosynthesis varies with the habitat of the plant. With the habitat of plant. It means that it depends upon on which climate the plants are present. With the habitat of plant, it means that, for example, the plants which are seen in the cold areas, right? So the plants which are seen in the cold areas and the plants which are seen in the tropical areas, like the areas where we are living, like in the India, where the moderate temperature is there. Right, so if you compare the plants from the cold areas and the plants which are present in our area, there is a lot of difference, right? Because the plants which are in the cold areas, they adapted, right? They adapted themselves in for the cold climate. We know that the plants are like conical in the shape, right? So that whatever the snow will be present, it will be get shed off. Right, so they have adopted the different characters so that they can sustain or they can live in the cold areas. In the same way, if you compare the desert plants, right? So desert plants, it is one of the habitats, right? So in the desert plant, they adapted, they modified the plants, they modified themselves so that they can be cope up with the environment, they can be cope up with the surrounding atmosphere. The desert plants, they are having the fleshy stem, right, and the spines are present, which can help to conserve the water, because in the desert there is a scarcity of the water. It means that they adapted, they modified themselves according to the surrounding atmosphere, right? So temperature, it will varies. It depends upon on which habitat the plants are present, because they modified according to their surroundings. The optimum temperature or the optimum range of the temperature for the photosynthesis is 10 to 35 degree Celsius, and the rate of the photosynthesis will doubles. It will doubles with increase of the 10 degree Celsius. And if there is a extremely high temperature, right, if there is a extremely high temperature, then extremely high temperature, the enzymes which are responsible for the photosynthesis will not work properly. At that time, the rate of the photosynthesis is also decreased. So now next we'll move to the last factor which is affecting the photosynthesis is water. So the rate of photosynthesis decreases. The rate of photosynthesis decreases under water deficient condition. It means that if the water concentration, if the water is less, then the rate of photosynthesis is decreased. The rate of photosynthesis is decreased under water deficient condition. Because we know that when the water will enter into the stomata, then the stomata will open, right? We studied while studying about the mechanism of opening and the closing of stomata. In that we studied that if the water will be entered into the stomata, then it becomes turgid, the cell become turgid. So when the cell or the stomata become turgid, then the stomata will open, right? If the water is not present, then the stomata remains closed, or it will be opens a very little, right? So when it opens little or when the stomata is closed, it means that the carbon dioxide is not entered into the stomata, right? If the carbon dioxide is not entered, it means that the photosynthesis will not occurs, right? So here the water plays a very important role, because if the water is present in the stomata, then the stomata will open, right? Now suppose if there is a water deficient, if the scarcity of water, there is a lack of water, right? The stomata will closes. Why the stomata will closes? Because it has to prevent the water loss by the evaporation, by the transpiration, right? So to prevent that one, the stomata will be closes, right? So when it will be closes, carbon dioxide will not enter. When carbon dioxide will not enter, then either it will stop completely the photosynthesis, or the rate of the photosynthesis will be highly reduced, right? So like that, the water is one of the important factor which affects the rate of the photosynthesis. And we know that the water which is absorbed by the plants, right? See, nearly 95 to the 98% of the water which is absorbed by the plant will remains or will goes as a waste, right? Among the water, the total amount of the water which is absorbed by the plant, among that only 2 to 3% of the water will be utilized by the plants during the photosynthesis, right? So this is also one of the factor or one of the point that you need to remember. And sometimes due to the lack of water also, the cell will get dehydrated, right? It will loses its protoplasm, or the cell will get dehydrated, and ultimately it will affects the rate of the photosynthesis. So now we will move to the last part of the lesson, that is the site of photosynthesis. So we know that what is the site of photosynthesis, which organelle helps in the photosynthesis in the plants. So the site of photosynthesis is chloroplast, right? So which is the site of photosynthesis? Chloroplast. So we know that the chloroplasts are the cell organelles which are having a green colored pigment. A green colored pigment. What is the green colored pigment? What do you call for that? Yes, it is what? Chlorophyll. What is the main role of the chlorophyll? So chlorophyll, it traps the sunlight, or it absorbs the sunlight, right? And we know that photosynthesis cannot occurs in absence of light. So light or the sunlight is one of the important factor for the photosynthesis, right? So this chlorophyll will trap or will absorb the solar energy or absorb the light energy for the photosynthesis. Now let us study the structure of the chloroplast. So this is a cell organelle which is having the two membrane. It is a site of the photosynthesis, right? The first one we will write. It is a site of photosynthesis. Right? It is having the two membrane, the outer membrane and the inner membrane. So the outer membrane is called as outer membrane, and inner membrane is what? The inner membrane. So it is double layered membrane. It is double layered. It is having double layered membrane, right? So outer is called as outer membrane and the inner one is called as inner membrane. Now in the chloroplast, the ground substance is present, right? A ground substance like this, right? And this ground substance is called as stroma, right? The ground substance is called as stroma. So all this one, it is called as what? Stroma. And in the stroma, we will find some flattened tube-like structures, flattened sac-like structures which are placed one above the other, right? And these structures are called as grana. They are called as what? Grana, like this. So this is called as, see, this is called as what? Grana. So here the flattened disc-like structures, right, which are stacked one above the other. The flattened tubular or sac-like structures which are stacked one above the other, right, are called as grana. So whole this unit is called as what? Grana. And this grana is made up of, so when you take only this one, right, a flattened sac-like structure, a flattened tube-like structure, so only one, this one is called as a thylakoid. It is called as what? Thylakoid. Remember children, see here in the stroma, the flattened tube-like structures are stacked one above the other and forming a pile like a structure which is called as grana. So whole this unit is called as the grana, and this grana is made up of what? It is made up of the thylakoid. So this is one thylakoid, this is one thylakoid, this is one like this, right? So this grana is made up of the thylakoids. So when these thylakoids are placed one above the other, then it is called as what? Grana. Right? So it means that this grana is abundant in the stroma. Stroma is nothing but the ground substance. Okay? And on this thylakoid, the green pigment here, the green pigment on the walls of this thylakoid, the green pigment chlorophyll is present. So here the chlorophyll is present, and we know that what is the function of the chlorophyll? Yes, it absorbs the sunlight. So where these chlorophyll are exactly present? They are present on the thylakoid. And what are the thylakoids? So the English wall unit of a grana is called as a thylakoid. What is grana? Grana is made up of flattened sac-like structures placed one above the other, stacked one above the other, is called as grana. What is stroma? So stroma is a matrix, or it is called as a ground substance, right? It is a ground substance in which this stroma is abundant, right? And the chlorophyll is present on the thylakoid, which help in the photosynthesis. So this chloroplast, it is present on the walls of the thylakoids, and it is also present on the palisade and the spongy parenchyma of the leaf, right? It also present in the spongy and palisade parenchyma. So while we studied about the TS of leaf, in that we studied, right? There will be the upper epidermis like this one, right? Like this. Here this is called as the upper epidermis, and here this region is called as, this is a palisade parenchyma, and here we will see the spongy parenchyma. So the chloroplast, they present on the walls of thylakoid, either on the walls of thylakoid, and they also present in the spongy parenchyma and the palisade parenchyma, right? Here also, so all this one, these are the green pigment which is chlorophyll, right? So it is present in the palisade parenchyma and also in the spongy parenchyma, and they also present in the stomata. They also present in the stomata of guard cell. So we know that while studying about the structure of this stomata, we know that this is a structure of stomata, right? And these are the guard cell. So here if you see, some green like structures will be there, right? And these green like structures with the nucleus will be there, right? And these green like structures are called as what? They are called as the chloroplast, and it is having the nucleus, right? So the chloroplast is present on the walls of the thylakoid in the cell organelle called chloroplast, and it is also present in the spongy and the palisade parenchyma in the mesophyll cells. It is also called as the mesophyll cells, right? And it is present in the stomata of the guard cell. So this is the location of the chlorophyll, right? And the chlorophyll absorbs the sunlight and helps in the photosynthesis. So children, it completes your lesson photosynthesis. So along with this one, the PDF will be sent, so please complete your class work. Now in your textbook, in your exercise part, so in the activity part, here the first one you can write, and second one try to write it, try to solve that one. I will help you during the revision sessions, right? What it is. Now come to the second. They have given an organism A. See, an organism A which cannot move from one place to other place makes a simple food B from the substances C and D available in the environment. See here, organism A which cannot move from one place to another place. So you can guess it, right? What is that organism which cannot move from one place to another place? What is that? It is a plant, right? Then see, read the next. It makes a simple food B. It makes a simple food B from the substances C and D. And we know that if it is a plant and if it makes its food, so plant makes their food in the form of glucose. So B is what? Glucose, right? And what they asked? From the substances C and D. So what will be the substances C and D? So how the glucose is obtained or how the glucose is produced by the plant? What are the raw materials? Yes, it is carbon dioxide and water, right? So with the help of the carbon dioxide and the water, the plant prepares the food which is in the form of glucose. Now see, substances C and D available in the environment. This food is made in presence of, see, this food is made in presence of green colored substances. We know that. What is that green colored substances? Yes, it is what? Chlorophyll, right? Because for the photosynthesis, which green colored pigment is helping? It is chlorophyll. So, in presence of green colored substance E present in the organ F, just now I told, we discussed the chlorophyll, it is present in which organ or in which organelle? It is present in the chloroplast, right? It is present in the chloroplast, right? In presence of the light energy in a process called G. See here. So you can now name what is G. So what is G? It is nothing but photosynthesis, right? So this process is called as photosynthesis, right? Then next again they have given some of the simple food. also get converted. See, some of the simple food also get converted into a complex food H for the storage purpose. We know that in the plants, the extra glucose will be stored in the form of what? Yes, it is stored in the form of starch. So H is what? Starch, right? So this type of the questions will be asked in the examination, right? It is very simple. Just you have to pay the attention, right? You have to read it carefully so that you can understand, right? So children, note down your today's homework. Explain the structure of chloroplast. Thank you, children.